world we live in today is a fast-moving, ever-changing place, and it can often become overwhelming. Many people are dealing with professions, schooling, families, social lives, and much, much more. When I was asked to do a Genius Hour project, I thought about what was it in my life that was affecting my ability to deal with these things, and the answer I came to was sleep. I often was struggling getting a good night's sleep, and when I was waking up in the morning, I did not feel rejuvenated or refreshed. So after my first thoughts, I came upon my driving question, which was, how can I wake up in the morning so I felt like my sleep was effective? My next step was to do some research into factors that can help promote a healthy sleep. So what I landed on was 3 areas that really affect the quality of your sleep and how long you sleep. So the 3 areas I focused on were bedtime routine, things that you do before bed, leading up to bed, sleep environment, including how long I was sleeping for, as well as my diet, which it was actually crossover with my bedtime routine. It is common knowledge that for most people, if you use your phone before you go to bed, it affects your sleep and as well affects your ability to go to sleep. It can hold you back. So whether you've read it somewhere or you've likely experienced it yourself, if you're on your phone late into the late hours of the night, it's very difficult then to go to sleep immediately afterwards. It's not an urban legend. The blue light on your phone can affect your brain's ability to prepare for sleep. And along with the light, often the content that we are experiencing stimulates our brain and makes it difficult to go to sleep, whether it's watching TV shows, shopping, playing video games, or even just preparing for the next day. Often it can take up to another hour to get to sleep after we shut off our device for the night. Some articles even indicate that reading an overly exciting book can make it more difficult to go to sleep right away. However, if you do need to do something to wind down at the end of the night, a book is recommended over playing on your phone. So learning about my bedtime routine kind of crossed over into my diet, mostly because I'm sure I'm not the only one. Sometimes I want a little bedtime snack before I turn in for the night, and often how you eat or drink at night affects your sleep. And there are also key foods that can provide nutrients that promote a healthy sleep. And tryptophan produces serotonin in your body, and serotonin is a hormone that helps promote a healthy sleep. So foods like turkey, eggs, or low-fat dairy all have tryptophan, and in order to boost the absorption of these foods into your brain, it's recommended to eat whole grains. So if you are going to have a snack before bed, whole grains with eggs, dairy, or some turkey. And I'm sure there are other foods if you want to do your own research. And melatonin actually helps keep your body asleep and is the limiting factor for how long you sleep. It can be found in cherries, naturally, or there are also supplements that you can get. Magnesium also has positive effects on sleep, and it can be found in dark leafy greens or in avocados, which are pretty popular these days, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Finally, I had to look at my sleep environment to see if there was anything to do with where I was sleeping that would affect the quality of my sleep. Obviously, it's best to sleep in a quiet area, but not impossible to sleep with some noise. I actually looked into white noise as a solution to drown out any street noise, or possibly the furnace turning on that could wake me up. And after some research, I found that the National Sleep Foundation actually did do a study on white noise. They actually performed it inside of a hospital to see if different machinery stopped patients from waking up from louder noises in the hallway. And it actually was true that white noise, some nearby noise while you're sleeping, increases the threshold for the amount of noise that you can experience without waking up, which is actually quite interesting. I also found information discussing ideal times for people to wake up based on their age. For those 30 years and younger, based on melatonin production, 9 o'clock a.m. was the ideal time, and as we age, we produce less and less melatonin, which means that we don't need to sleep as long and our bodies don't want to sleep as long. So most of the information I found indicated that the optimum length of time to sleep was 7 to 9 hours, which I feel is a benchmark for what most people usually try to sleep. I also discovered that it is unhealthy to have sporadic bedtimes. So going to bed early one night and getting up early, going to bed late and still getting up early, going to bed late and sleeping in, and not having a same sleep time and wake time can actually have detrimental effects on your body. So all the while I was researching, I was taking a look at my own habits and seeing where I can improve. I'm often on the phone before I sleep. I often watch movies before bed. I generally eat at random times. Sometimes I'm at work, so I have to come home and eat a meal right before I go to bed. And generally the things I eat before bed are snacks and things that aren't whole grains, and they often don't have tryptophan or anything healthy in them. I also save my homework for the end of the night and do it before bed, which means that my mind is likely going to be running long after I finish that. And it's just stimulants like that I'm generally doing before I go to sleep, which would be why my sleep is affected and I'm not feeling rested in the morning. So to answer my question, one can wake up and not feel tired by managing their time and diets. Most of my sleep is affected by the time working on school or from eating food, because I didn't have the time to eat properly during the day. And in order to acquire a healthy sleep, it is best to start a routine for sleeping. As I mentioned previously, it's good to go to sleep at approximately the same time every night and ensure you're eating properly throughout the day. And finally, before going to sleep, don't sit on your phone and give yourself just about 20 minutes to wind down. It allows you to shut your mind off and prepare for a good night's sleep. I really do hope that my research has provided some insight into your own sleep habits, and that you can now implement some of these in your life and head down the path towards an effective and healthy sleep. Thank you for listening.